Hello, everybody. Joshua Hill here. I hope this finds you well. We're here for another episode of What the Hill. Let's cue that theme music. It's coming in. It's coming in. Today on What the Hill, we are talking about Satan. Talking about Satan. What the hill? What the hill? What the hill? All right, well, we did it somehow, some way. Episode 2 of What the Hill came out. I released it about a month ago, and then I had some concerns because I don't think I properly contextualized the violent nature of the song. I was talking about the song Spider Shirt. And so I re-uploaded it with just a content warning and just saying I don't support violence, even if I'm able to sort of find compassion for those who communicate through violence, I don't support it. So today, even though I'm talking about Satan, I'm not really talking about Satan. I'm talking about another song called Fall-E, and it does engage the story of Lucifer, but I'm not really, hold on, sorry. We're really beginners at this, and we're just gonna find compassion for ourselves for being beginners at this whole thing. So I want to read you, before I get started, I want to read you a passage from Karen Armstrong's book about Muhammad. And it's interesting because it's a biblical story, or, it's in the Bible, it's in I think it's probably in the early Torah, and then it's in the Quran, and it's this moment where God basically creates man, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, let me tell you. No, I mean, he created Steve too, and then Adam and Steve had some good times. They had a good life together. But and then but no, so the point of this is saying that so God created mankind, and before this there were angels in heaven, and God says to the angels, now that I've created man, I would like for you to bow before man. And the angels comply. But one angel does not comply, and that is the angel Lucifer. And Lucifer's like, no, I'm good, man. I don't want to bow before man. You crazy? And then Lucifer's cast out of heaven, and the rest is history. So there's a lot of different interpretations of this. And I think this next song, Folly, that I'm going to talk about, from the same album that Spider Shirt was on, it's track 2. And it's this story of the sort of like other, the outcast, the one who had wings and lost their wings. It's something I've engaged with. This story is an archetype or a figure that I've engaged with quite a bit. I don't know why, but I find it intriguing. I even have a song coming out. I think I'll just announce it here unofficially, that I'm planning on releasing another song from my new album, Cowboy Dream, around my birthday in May. And it also engages this idea of the outcast who lost their wings. They once had the power to fly, and now they no longer have the power to fly. So, let's see. I'm going to pull this quote from Karen Armstrong's. Oh, there's the album, but let me just pull this in first. So, oops. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to read it here. So this is talking about Satan from the Islamic perspective. Let's see. So, in the Christian world, Satan became a figure of monstrous evil. But in the Quran, as in the Jewish scriptures, he is much more manageable character. He is a much more manageable character. In its account of his fall from grace, the Quran says that when God had created mankind, he commanded all the angels to bow before Adam, but the shaitan, or Iblis, as he is often called, in an Arabization of the Greek diabolos, refused and was cast out from the divine presence. The Quran does not see this as the primal absolute sin, but indicates instead that Satan will be forgiven on the last day. Some Sufis even came to claim that Satan had loved God more than the other angels, because he had refused to honor a mere creature with an obeisance that was due to God alone. That last sentence, that's what really got me. And I actually think I started writing this song Folly after reading this book by Karen Armstrong. Just this idea that it wasn't the fact that Lucifer didn't love God, that Lucifer refused to follow God's command in this moment, but it was actually that Lucifer loved God so much that it was like, God, I love you so much that I'm not going to bow before anything but you. What an interpretation. What an interpretation. I don't know the truth, but I found that to be very powerful. And I think that was inspiration for this song. So let's go to the song here. So I think we go to this guy. Oh, no, not that one. Let's go here. All right, we're here. Can I be small? There I am. Okay. So this is the second song from the eponymously named EP, The Hill in Mind, from the band The Hill in Mind. Same cast of characters. We got John Lang on pianos. We got Max Naus on guitar. We got Jacob Beard on drums, and we got Wayne Jones on bass. Special shout out to Jerome Salazar for helping create the arrangements. And this was recorded and produced by Bob Hogue at Flying Blanket. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. Oh gosh, that's the song. There it is. So let's go to the song here, and I think we're gonna go here. So these are the lyrics. I think, yeah, I'm always looking. There's always like a lot of my songs have mythological origins. And I think this song really comes from just knowing that you're going to sort of defy the powers that be, and you're willing to face the consequences. So the title, Fall E, is I think a reference to Wall-E, which is I really like the movie Wall-E. And one of the main reasons I like the movie Wall-E is that it's one of the very few movies that actually the villain is not like some maniacal individual, but it's actually a systemic villain. And that is so rare. That is so rare because a lot of times movies, when they craft villains, they say, oh, it's this one bad seed, and that is the reason why there's something wrong in this world. But rarely do movies actually say, actually, the system itself is the villain, and it is not empowering the people to live the most fulfilling lives. That is some deep, deep socialist nonsense. And this movie, this whole thing about Lucifer and who is this guy talking about all this nonsense. You're right. I don't know. You're right. I should just keep quiet, and I should just let I have 88 YouTube subscribers, and my last video got like 4 plays. So you know what? I think we're not hurting. We're only hurting like 4 people. So, hallelujah. So anyway, let me take a sip of tea. So I think that's a good intro. So let's just listen to this song. Really written. I was thinking about Lucifer refusing to bow before mankind, because who would want to bow before mankind? I don't know. So let's take a listen. Honestly, nothing fancy there.
This is my last day before I fall. I'll leave my life behind in a futureless flight.
Man, I'm getting chills.
When he commands it's time for me to genuflect before this man. Creation that I must adore. Oh, I won't bend a knee. I'd rather fall. I'd rather fall.
Wow. All right. I just feel like shout out to Lucifer. I don't know why. I just feel like if you're, man, just taking a stand for, I don't know what I'm doing. Just stay here. I think if, let's just remove God, remove the judgment of good and evil from this. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional about this, but if you know that if you know that you're taking a stand for something that you believe in, and you know that you might lose all of your power and you might lose everything this life that you were promised, and you're still willing to say, I'm not going to do that. I would rather fall. I would rather die with my integrity. I would rather just become the scum of all human civilization than to bow before this thing that it hasn't proven to me it's worthy of bowing to. Okay, let me, English language is not my first language. Music is my first language. But if you are commanding me to genuflect, to bow in a way to something that has not given me, that is undeserving of my respect, or has yet to deserve my respect, then why would I do that? Why would I do that? And I think I don't know, maybe it's an East Coaster thing, but I feel like the mentality of the respect is earned, not expected. I think that's, I don't know. I got a lot of respect for that. So clearly I just started crying about Satan. What a guy. What a guy. He's not. I mean, I don't know. I don't really connect with the traditional interpretation of this figure. So anyway, let's go to verse 2 here. Max Mouse. On the guitar.
I used to be like you. I lived in paradise. Complacent to the path, the perfect life. But then I saw a bite, and you will fall. And you will fall. And you will fall.
All right, I gotta stop it because there's a modulation happening, and I don't want to give away the surprise. So, this is, I mean, and then so obviously you obviously have different scenes where this figure, Lucifer, Satan, is present in the Bible or those texts, and the second verse is really in the Garden of Eden, and I also have another song that talks about. I really don't have that many subject matters. It's pretty much just Genesis, and it's pretty much it. I don't know, maybe cats. But so the this idea, I think, again, that there's this. Well, first of all, in the Garden of Eden, the typical Christian narrative is that it's all women's fault, which I reject. And also people blame Satan. It's like, well, there was this snake that had legs. Like, yeah, like the snake in the garden had legs. That's not a snake. That's a lizard. That is not a snake. Although there are legless lizards. There's a legless lizard, I think. Yeah, it's not a snake, but it is a legless lizard. Anyway, I digress. But so there's this, you live in this paradise, right? God builds this perfect world, but there's no life there, right? There's this idea, I think the snake is so, I think the snake is associated with the Garden of Eden because snakes do this crazy thing where they shed their whole skin and they leave behind this, like, their skin, and then they're like reborn into like new skin. And so I think that the snake kind of represents that life continues. And so the Garden of Eden was this paradise, but it's not realistic. It's not practical. It's just this like endless, I don't know, like when my consciousness or soul, if it ever was this, it's just sort of like this, like sort of amalgamation of electricity, or just like, it's just like living in light. And then it comes down to this grotesque human being known as Joshua Hill, and then it's like, wow, this is painful and difficult. I have this like godly perspective, but my goodness, this is painful, and everybody's fighting. And anyway, so I guess I don't know where I'm just saying. I think it's just saying like, hey, you can fall. It's all right, just fall. And I think even, I think just to like take down the pressure of being human a little bit, just to be, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay if you sin. I mean, it would be good if you didn't, like if you didn't hurt anybody. It'd be good if you don't hurt yourself. Like cherish yourself, cherish thy neighbor. All these things, man. Like, I mean, I think a lot of times with these ancient texts and stories, we wrap our own context around their meaning. And of course, I'm doing that. Of course, I'm wrapping my context around, like, my experience is like, based off of my experience. And so my interpretation of these stories is based off of my life. I think about when I think about like Lucifer or Satan, I think about how Sun Ra is like, I am evil. Like Sun Ra, or he's like, Lucifer was in charge of music, and well, I'm in devotion to music, and even though he fell, they never said he was not in charge of music. So I'm with Lucifer, And then you hear, right now there's this narrative that the United States is the great Satan of the world. You hear about, like, Malcolm X talk about the white devil. Every context or every individual is going to have this other outsider outside of them that is like the adversary to their life, to their paradise. And I think that's what that figure is. It's just that there's an adversary to your paradise. And when you have paradise, you want to preserve it. Everybody wants to. Like, ain't no shame in that. So, hi, Joshua Hill from a different place. I have to be quiet because I'm in a quiet place. I just want to clarify that that paradise is either something that you are reaching for or it's something that you hold. And so the context of the other or Satan is really dependent on whether you're facing oppression or not. And those are two very different ways of looking at this figure. So that's an important thing, is that just clarifying that it's either something we hold or it's something that we are seeking, and that oppression and oppressive forces are very much part of that conversation. Okay, back to the video. We're coming up, it's funny because the last song we looked at here in episode 3, 2. Did I say episode 4? I don't know. We're at episode 3 of What the Hill. Way more simple musically. These chords are pretty simple, but I will say that in the live version, we never recorded this bridge. The only thing that was kind of fancy about this song, we had this bridge. And so it went, I'll try to sing a little bit of it.
And you will fall. And you will fall.
And then it went like bum 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 ba da 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 da. Had this whole like 11 part, and it was the recommendation of our recording person that it was slowing down the song. Everybody got mad at me for cutting it, but I don't know. Jury's still out. So anyway, there was a section there that existed live. I don't remember it. There's probably no video of it. Welcome to 2013. So we're coming up on a guitar solo here with Max Naus. I really liked this guitar solo from Max. Max hated it because he just was like, oh, it's so just like slash. I really, really, really like it. It's so good.
And you will fall.
And we're in a different key now. I was modulating. I was modulating keys at this time, and I don't modulate much these days. Let me think. My next album, do I have any modulations? Modulating is basically where you're in one key and then you move to another key. And usually the way I heard it, a lot of times modulations are called trucker modulations, where you're just like, you just like kind of rev into the next. I think that definitely my favorite modulation is a minor third modulation, which this does, I believe. I think we're in like E major and it goes up to G major. And that's, if you want to go, one of the best modulations, actually there's two that I can recommend of minor third modulations, is going to be in Circle of Life. And it's like, till we find our way. And then it's just like an explosion, and it's transcendent joy. But the other one is Ray Charles singing "Lucky Old Sun." I can't open that can of worms. That's my favorite song. I think "Lucky Old Sun" is, I think, my favorite song. And I can't go down that road. I love that song so much. I'm so emotional today. Why am I so emotional? Oh God. Okay. All right. So we're in the last verse here. It's just, honestly, I think you can be kings in your own walls. None of your mistakes, they won't be punished. I really think, I'm like reflecting on this, and I really respect the word. Like, I fundamentally believe that human beings should be empowered to build their own lives. I genuinely believe there are enough resources and there's just enough for everybody. And that when we communicate and when we talk and we understand other people's ways of life, that we can coexist. And so I guess that this last verse is just talking about, we can make our own kingdom, and there's no falling because we're already fallen. And I do feel like I'm a fallen. I fell down here to this planet to live this life, and that's not a bad thing, but it's complicated. So.
And you can be king in your own walls. And now your mistakes won't be punished at all.
Oh man, if we could just not punish people for their mistakes. I mean, I guess that also requires an amount of accountability for your mistakes. It's complicated too, but everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. So, here we go.
The morning star has come to you. The sun will rise again renewed. The truth will shine in a different light. Just never blink an eye, and we won't fall.
Can we just, I don't even think I can. I used to sing way higher.
The truth
Will shine in a different light. Okay, no, hold on. The truth will shine in a different light. Oh, it's a little high for me. Different light. Because I used to just, when I was singing before, I used to just I'd be like a tube amp, and I'd just be like, I'm gonna crunch my voice and get the note. But I don't do that now because I'm trying to make it into being somewhat capable of singing in my old age. But I'm wondering, I probably would just do this song down a couple steps if I was performing it now. But let's see. The truth will shine in a different light. Or I would just hop to. I can do it. Okay, hold on. All right. I think it's all about, that's the thing. You're singing, you got to calm down. You don't want to get too spazzy. So we're going to calm down. It's all about you just let your voice happen. The truth will shine in a different light. All right. We'll get it. The truth will shine in a different light. That was pretty good. All right. I'd put that on a record. All right. I digress again. Yeah, and then we're just party. It's a party till the end here.
Just never blink an eye, and we won't
messed it up.
No, we won't fall. No, we won't fall.
Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. All right. That's a party, man. Max Nouse just jamming out. Band sounds great. Jamming out on the guitar. Some of that Nashville flat picking. Oh, yeah, it's interesting. Interesting song. I think I really like this idea of never blink an eye. Excuse me, when you're I think this last part is just thinking about staring at the sun, staring at the stars, staring at the light. Like, don't blink your eye when you're doing that, because I don't know, just believe in the light that you feel inside of your heart. Like, that's what it's all about, I think, maybe. I don't know. Again, what do I know? Cancel me. Dismember me. Please don't hurt me. I'm really trying to be a good human. I failed many times, but just the light that you seek, don't blink looking for that. Although blink, because you got to blink. It's just for safety reasons, but I mean just like from a symbolic perspective, like, let the light be your compass, I guess. Even if you're standing against the whole fucking universe, against God and the angels. I think one thing I really respected about my dad, Gregory Hill, is that he was if there was a situation where something needed to be said and everybody was quiet, he would stand up and he would say the thing. Even if it didn't mean he was like even if it didn't mean the thing was going to happen. I just think there's a lot to respect about that, and I do respect that. So, I think that's about it for folly. Hail Satan, no, hail God. I mean, I'm devoted to the creator of the universe. I'm devoted to music. I'm devoted to my family. I'm devoted to trying to grow and learn. I'm devoted to being accountable for my mistakes. I'm devoted to my friends, my loved ones, and plenty of other things. So, what are you devoted to? I don't know. What are you devoted to? Because this life is beautiful, man. There's a lot of pain happening always, but now it feels especially painful for many, and we can do better. Maybe we can't, but maybe that's the eternal struggle, but I want to believe we can do better. So I'll try to do better today. I'm going to go make some spaghetti. I'm going to throw on that theme music, which, by the way, shout out to Ray Belai for these breaks. What the hell? What the hell? This has been episode 3 of What the Hell? Thank you so much, and have a beautiful day. Happy Easter. If it's probably not Easter by the time I post it, but it's Easter now. Okay, bye.